Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the show. Today, my guests are from Walk and Bike at Connecticut.org, and please welcome Bridget Boku and Robert Gomez. Welcome to the show, everybody.
Thanks. Thank you.
First of all, Bob, let's get right into it. Why don't you give us a little bit of a rundown on safe routes to school?
It's really a program that encourages kids to walk and bike to school safely. Mm-hmm. It was started by the federal government, and Connecticut's had a program in place for many years now, and it's a statewide, state-funded project to get kids to walk and bike to school.
Now, I went to the website, and it was really, they had the 5 E's. Let's talk about the 5 E's, and they are education, encouragement, enforcement, engineering, and evaluation. Why don't we start first with the education part of it?
Sure. The education part is probably one of the most important parts of it. If we just to get the message out to kids about the importance of biking and walking to school, there's a lot of health benefits to it, and air pollution benefits of kids getting out of cars and walking. Mm-hmm. So just a lot of benefits to it. Back when we were in school, back in the late 60s, if you're within a mile from the school, 89% of those kids walk to school. Mm-hmm. And now the percentage is way down, probably below 30% are walking to school.
And it's, to me, that's a shame. You see like we were talking earlier, the buses pulling up. You could see the school, and the buses are picking the kids up.
Yeah, there's schools where kids are being bused just a few blocks because there's not infrastructure, or there's just the way that schools
exactly. And we'll talk about that in a few minutes. That's it. That's very interesting. It's that goes along with the Safe Routes project too.
Yes, our main mission is to educate the public about it and go to schools and talk to PTAs and principals and teachers and get them on board with the program. The next E is encouragement. Once we tell them about the program, we like to encourage them to keep it up, because even the schools that get involved the first year, the second year, after a few years, things can slow down. So we like to keep them engaged and keep the momentum of the program going.
Exactly. We used to have a blast going to school.
Yeah,
fun. Walking to school was a lot of fun. We looked forward to it. We had the interaction. Today, I do see you see the kids looking down at those handheld devices, and they're just sitting in the back seat of mom's car. They don't even want to take their faces off. We used to walk. We'd have, we'd run around after school. It was exercise and everything, and it gave us something to do, and we were able to interact with our friends a lot more. Is that part of some of the education and
That's
encouragement?
Exactly right. One of the big benefits is spending time with your friends, spending time with your parents, and that's really what when we go out and talk about it to the schools, we tell them exactly that's the benefit, and that's why it should become a priority. The next E is engineering, mm-hmm. and engineering is about looking at the physical makeup around the school. I'm a professional engineer in Connecticut,
okay.
And we look at it from a traffic perspective, from a safety perspective. Are the sidewalks adequate? Are the crosswalks in the right place? Is the signage right? So we can come to the school and do an evaluation of the engineering constraints and the infrastructure around the school.
And you're able to give them a possible plan and places they can improve?
Right. They put together a master plan, and we help them with that in doing parts of it, and especially the engineering part of it.
Well, it involves sometimes a traffic study.
Exactly.
It involves the times that the kids will be going out of school and everything.
Right.
In Wallingford, they have there's a high school, Sheehan High School, and directly across the street there's the middle school. And they have worked it into both, where the kids can, get out. They get out at different times, but they have that safe route where they can go down to their neighborhoods around the school. And it works out good because the kids spend as little time as they possibly can near the dangerous intersections and stuff.
Right, that's what we would do. We'd look at the flow around the school and make sure that it's safe.
And, it has a lot to do with the timing, too. I mean,
right.
It's the time that in our town, it's the high schools go in earliest, and then it's the middle school, and then the elementary school. But when it gets out, it's the exact opposite, It's, the high school gets out first, but the timing has to be different.
Yeah,
because of the
our
buses.
program focuses on elementary and middle schools.
Okay.
Kind of get them while they're young kind of focus.
Yeah, because if you haven't taught a high school kid to do something, they're not.
Yeah, we have trouble with high school.
I know all about the high school
kids,
kid.
yeah.
I was a custodian once. I know all about that. Okay, so we got back to the encouragement. How about the enforcement?
The enforcement part's really about getting the police and the local officials, mayors and first selectmen, whoever, engaged in the process. If there's a speed limit in front of the school, or if there's signage, stop signs, we want to let the police know to be a partner here and help make it a safe corridor for kids to walk.
Are there some towns that that you've worked with? What are some of the towns that you have worked with that in the past that you've had success with? Do you have any?
We've worked with towns really all over the state. Vernon, Simsbury, all these towns have had a long history with it. I was in Weathersfield just a few days ago, and they're just getting involved with the program, and there's a lot of excitement about it. Once they kind of figure it out that we're there to help them, and they see that it doesn't cost them anything except some time on their part, and then it's really a no-brainer to pull the trigger and go for it.
That's great, and it's good to see when they do get involved how it can, with just a little bit of an encouragement type deal,
Right.
they can get into, and it just blossoms all by itself. It takes on a life of its own. Okay, well, we have, let's get a little bit into the engineering part, because that's where I think this program takes on a different thing. It becomes a monetary thing. Could you talk a little bit about the engineering?
Well, like I said, we look at, our focus is really the education and encouragement part. The engineering part of it is a part of it, but it's really just kind of feeds into, getting a good plan together for the school. Like I said, we'll look at the surrounding neighborhoods and look at an area a mile away from the school and look at all the paths that kids take and see what's safe and what's not safe and what could use improvement, and we document all that. That's really the focus of the engineering part of it.
It really is getting a sidewalk put in where it wasn't there before, get the kids safely across
Right.
major intersections and stuff.
Right, and a lot of times there's sidewalks there already, and the kids don't know how to walk on it. If there's a sidewalk on one side of the road, then we'll encourage them to walk safely, and we can come to the school and do classes on bike safety and walking safety to help promote what use of the infrastructure that they have.
Well, let's get Bridget involved. Bridget,
All right.
if you've heard a lot of the feedback, from these plans, can both pros and cons? Could you talk a little bit about that?
Well, the schools that I've dealt with, and I'm pretty new to the team, but the schools that I've dealt with, the champions, those are the people that are kind of the head of the program at the individual school or maybe in a community. And they tend to be very active, avid bikers or walkers or environmentalists or parents, and they just don't really see anything negative to it. And I think that we've had a good system. We provide incentives for them, which I actually brought along to show you
That's
on
excellent.
TV, and I might have to demonstrate on you because I have a slap bracelet
Oh,
for
excellent.
you. And
Good.
but no, I mean I've had only positive feedback from parents and the community.
Well, I think education and awareness I think it's just the exercise aspect of it. It does have to be safe, and it's a route to school, but getting kids out there and walking to school again, the kids that can, is a
Well-
very important thing to me.
Well, we have one of the things that the events that Safe Routes to School promotes is International Walk to School Day, and that's next Wednesday, which
It's
is
coming
October
up.
9th.
It's on the 9th.
And that's a good launching place for schools to really encourage kids. And we have 18 schools so far signed up. And we sent out a bunch of incentives to schools that signed up early. And also then we did a raffle, and the 4 schools won a pop-up school bus. And they can make, for the younger kids it's fun. They can
Yeah.
stand inside it and walk. And so that's kind of, but basically that day is really, it's kind of just a good way for schools to kind of see if safe routes is something that they want to do. And I think the kids get excited just because it's so different than just getting on the bus in the morning. And buses, my kids don't really like the bus. The buses are loud.
Yep. And it's the pollution and everything.
Yeah.
We're talking about a lot of things, but I think if the kids only knew how much fun it was, Robert and I were talking about how much fun it was to walk to school when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up I went to Simpson School, kindergarten through 5th grade. The school didn't have any buses. Everybody was a walker. There was no buses, and it was amazing. And we lived, like you said, it was the mile rule came in I think the early 70s, but we walked to school. It
Yeah,
was like,
people think that even though it's getting cold, that In the wintertime, there's no walking, but there's a lot of places in the country where that's not a factor, and they keep going. If there's snow on the ground, it's a snow day, then maybe there's no school that day. But once they've cleared the roads, we walk in the cold, in the winter all the time with my kids. It's a lot of fun.
We did have, in particularly this last winter, we had that storm that sort of took away our sidewalks for like a month and a half. I talked to Sal Menzo. I had him on the show. He's the superintendent of schools in Wallingford, and they do encourage kids to walk to school, but that took away. There was no way for us to clear the sidewalks because they took the snow and put it on the sidewalks. There was 5 feet of snow there. The kids couldn't clear them, and he said that every parent was driving their kids to school. That the kids that would normally walk, and he said for a month it was mayhem around all the schools, But once spring came, I would always be out there. I did deliver newspapers when I was a kid, so I was always outside. I loved that. I loved doing it. I don't know why.
But back to what you said about the snow, though, I just want to touch base on that. Our primary purpose our primary focus, the kids have to be safe. So if it's not safe, then it's not like the kids don't have to walk every day.
Yeah.
It's just getting kids out there. But there are situations where, if there's, with lightning and thundering, or the weather doesn't allow it for a while. I mean, that was kind of a freak snowstorm. I'm from Buffalo. We had those all the time, and we had to walk still, but that was
had
different.
them every day, I
well,
think.
because we had the infrastructure and we had the ability to clear the roads. But here, but there are going to be exceptions, and it's not. Parents are obviously the people that make the judgment call on a daily basis, whether they feel it's safe. But in the spring and fall, and often days in the winter, it's walkable.
It's beautiful. I mean, the weather's great. We are aware that it does have to be safe and everything, and we want the kids to be aware. Is there any public service announcements that we do have some websites that you gave me before that we will be showing? But do you have any, along with the PSAs that you have? Is there any other websites that the kids can go on?
Yes, I brought actually a list of websites.
Excellent.
We have www.saferoutesinfo.org.
Okay.
And then we have www.walkbiketoschool.org. And then www.iwalktoschool.org.
And we have those three. We went through
Awesome.
those, and we looked.
Oh, okay.
On the website, and you gave us a PSA that was very informative that we've been rolling on the B-roll. So, and that would come up. The kids can go on that, and the parents can go on that and figure out things. It's really interesting to see to somebody that's excited about the kids walking to school. I just would never think that it wouldn't be a thing to do. I loved it. I can't think of not walking to school. I can't remember taking a ride. I used to walk in the rain. I used to go to school soaking wet. Okay, so we've went by the engineering. Now, is the evaluation goes along with the engineering, right?
When we think of that, we like to come into the school, and one of the first things we do is hand out surveys to find out what's going on in that school. What are their issues? Why are they walking to school? Why aren't they walking to school now? What's their concerns? And then we come in and try to help them resolve some of those issues. And then after the program's been running for a while, we come back and put out the same surveys to see if we've got more kids walking.
Yeah.
To kind of evaluate to see if what we've done has made a difference.
Now, is there not a geographical area, but an area of population that you like to focus on?
No, we're statewide.
It is statewide. So does it go from the inner? It doesn't go from the inner city, though, does it? I mean, do you have usually? I would see a thing like up in Reading where the kids have to bus because in Weston and Easton they usually most of them bus to school. But like a town like Wallingford, most of the kids do walk to school. Yeah,
some towns are more rural and more urban. In Hartford and Bridgeport, you got a lot more density, so there's more walking. But we reach out to schools that are pretty rural too. And doesn't make any difference. If there's even some schools where the kids are getting bused in because they live far away, and what happens is the buses stop half a mile from school, let the kids out, and the teacher there will meet them and then walk them the rest of the way. So even if they are being bused, there's still alternatives to get people walking and get some exercise.
Right. I see the superintendent of schools in Wallingford has the kids walk up North Main Street from Moses Y. Beach School. It's really cool to see the whole school walking up and down the street. they have a ton of aides, and they walk the kids up and down the school, and they
Oh, that's
wave to you,
great.
and it's really, it's like a little miniature parade, you know. But Sal's a great guy, and he does things like that, and he encourages things like this, and maybe you can come to Wallingford, and you know.
Yeah, actually, I was in contact with, I know the name of the principal, Nicholas Brophy, I think it is, and he's one of the principals for the K-2 schools. And so they
Okay.
asked us actually to come in and do a presentation, because with those young kids, you really need a lot of parent involvement, because you would need parents to walk with the kids.
Exactly.
And
Supervision.
so, and that was, because they said not many of their kids walk right now because of that factor.
Okay.
But that's one of the things that we work with, too.
The Safe Routes program, how long has that been around? Like you said, like 2006 or something?
Yeah, it started in Connecticut in 6. The program's been going strong since then. The DOT has dedicated staff that work on this project, and they hire consultants to help them, and they're fully into it. They've been doing it for years. The program's not new or anything.
No, it isn't
Right.
new, and that's the thing. I want the people to know that this is not something that's just been implemented recently. This has been going on.
Right.
I've heard of Safe Routes before, and like you say, I've seen the websites and stuff.
And it's a
now.
national program. It's
And
going
it's a
in every
national
state.
program, and it was brought into Connecticut from other places. This wasn't even new in 2006.
Right.
This was from other places, you know. What's going on now? What are we doing for funding? How is this funded?
It's fully funded, especially the part that we're doing.
Okay.
The education and encouragement part.
Mm-hmm.
The state has set aside money for many years to handle that, and we've been going. What we've been doing right now is going to visit schools, and school just kind of started a few months ago.
Yep.
We've been visiting PTAs. We're doing 2 or 3 a week, visiting with principals, superintendents, and just spreading the word and talking to parents and talking to everybody we can and tell them about it. And when we do, it's like they're just, okay, why not? There's nothing negative about it. It's all positive. So it's an easy topic to get on board with.
Yeah, I haven't had anybody say anything bad about when I've told people about the sites and everything. They were like, "Yeah, that sounds like a great idea and everything." So you do get a positive feedback from the principals. You get from
Yeah.
the administrations, from the PTAs and stuff. Now, do you actually go and do I don't know field trips to schools? And,
Yeah, all the school has to do, or the PTA or anybody from the school, just contact us on our website, walkitbikeatct.org, or email us at info@walkitbikeatct.org,
Yeah.
and we'll get in touch with them and make an appointment. We'll come see them and start telling them how we can help them out. And there's really lots of, why don't you show them some of
Yeah.
those incentives?
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Okay, I
incentive
will.
items that we offer the kids
That's
to
great.
encourage them to
Yeah,
walk.
if you show the kids,
This
you
is
got
our
to give the
bag.
kid. You got
Yes.
the bag. I like the bag, folks.
Backpacks.
I did tell Bridget I wanted the bag. The bag looked
I might,
good.
I
Let's
might,
see.
I might leave it with you.
You might. I have
so-
to be nice.
Whenever we, if a school, whenever we do a PTA presentation, or if a school, like the schools that signed up early for International Walk to School Day, we gave
Okay.
them, we sent them boxes of these little incentives. Everything is reflective, so when the kids wear it, they're extra safe. And this is a, it
Snap
has our,
bracelet.
I'll let you do it.
There you
There
go.
you go.
Check it out,
You can keep
everybody.
it.
Hey, look at this, and it's reflective and everything. And this
Yeah.
is great for in the morning or even after school. And
Yeah.
the,
Yeah.
the
The
sun's-
Parents like them as much as the kids.
I tell you know what? This looks like it could catch on. I mean, everybody's wearing the Livestrong bracelets. This is the new one.
Exactly. And then these are stickers. They can go on backpacks, and they're reflective as well. And they have our website on there. And then these are spoke. You attach them to your spokes, and they reflect.
Great idea for the
great for the
kids that bike.
bikes.
You know.
And we have, of course, pencils, because kids need pencils for
Yeah,
school.
The pencils are special ink that if you get them hot, they change colors.
That's
So
awesome.
the kids just love these, and we've given out hundreds of those. And then we have pens
Those
and
little
jacket and zipper
tags.
pulls
for
and
the
things.
tags. And I'll tell you, these
Yeah.
reflective things, folks, are very, they're a necessity for the backs of the backpacks.
Yes.
I encourage that, and this is a great idea.
Yeah.
I mean, I like this. I like this
The
thing.
kids like those a lot.
Oh, and the kids would wear them. I mean, it has to do with fashion. Kids will
Yes.
like them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we also have pedometers that we can, if schools get on board and they want to, we can loan them if they want to do something maybe through their phys ed program
To
or
see
their
how
health
far they've
class.
actually
yeah,
walked.
yeah. And then this shirt was because it was made for volunteers. They were trying to get parents on board to really step it up and to get part of the program.
Burn
So
walks.
they made they put in a request to make shirts, and then the parents could walk and they could wear these shirts, and it kind of just was an added incentive for the
cool.
school.
That's a big shirt.
That is a big shirt. Yes, it is. We wanted to make sure it.
And all this stuff is free.
Yes.
All you have to do is fill out the forms and talk to us and get the school involved. And then there's funding available for these types of incentives and education programs to really encourage kids to walk.
Well, and this stuff right here, this would spur interest in the kids. The parents would like things like this. I think that having reflective things is it's a necessity, and having anything, these things that you put on the spokes of the bike, something like that could save the kid's life. It's safety. It's a necessity now. I just got a kid a vest. He rides his bike all over the place, and I just out of the blue I got him an orange vest, and I gave it to him because I felt sorry for the kid. The kid didn't have one. He loves the vest now. I see him wearing it in school, and it's pretty funny.
Yeah, safety is the biggest concern we have, is making sure that the kids are walking to school safe, that the neighborhood, that the infrastructure is safe, that everything's right. The whole goal is to get things safe. If it's not safe, then change it so that it is safe, and then get kids walking.
Yeah, well, we have the websites on the bottom of the screen, and we put them up. We also have a public service announcement on the B-roll, and if you want to, you can go to those websites, and you could learn a little bit more about either it's Safe Routes or Walk It, Bike It. And the 9th, next Wednesday, it's the National Day now. International.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't yesterday Connecticut's Walk to School Day, wasn't it?
No, it's the 9th.
It is the 9th?
Yes.
Well, one of these was yesterday. There was something yesterday. I saw
Well,
something.
a lot of schools, what they'll do is they'll start with International Walk Day on Wednesday, and then they start Walk It Wednesdays, like every Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
And then some will start doing Wednesdays and Fridays, and it just kind of grows from there. It's kind of
and you know
a
what?
way in.
That's great. Plant the seed.
Yeah.
Well, that's excellent. That's excellent. So, do you have anything planned for next Wednesday? I mean, it's the day.
A lot of stuff planned.
It's your busy day, huh?
Yeah. We got our whole team going out to different schools and encouraging kids and shooting video and taking pictures and just trying to drum up interest in it.
Well, the interest will be there. We'll get the word out. We'll throw the thing on TV, and we'll get it out there, and we'll let the kids know. We'll have it out there. It'll be out before. This will be on TV before the Walk It, Bike It Day. So we'll get the kids watching and everything, and it seems like it's a great thing. The safety issue, the exercise issue, it's all necessary. And like I said, when we were kids, Rob, we used to walk to school, and the kids have to,
I walked too.
You walked? How far did you walk to school?
About 2 blocks.
It was,
but it was Buffalo, so you got to realize in the winter
tough.
That's tough.
Everything is tougher in Buffalo. I noticed that all the people from Buffalo, they really are. They know how to use a snow shovel. They're not afraid.
They certainly do. Yes.
Isn't that where Groundhog Day was filmed?
No, that was I think Minnesota. But
it
might have been filmed in Buffalo.
I think it was just to get this because it snowed every day. Buffalo was some city, I'll tell you that. I did go to Buffalo. I went to Syracuse one year where they broke the record.
Oh yeah, Syracuse is serious.
Syracuse was the icicles were 2.5 stories tall.
Yes.
And they used to block off the streets, and you couldn't walk down these sidewalks because you'd look up and there'd be 40-yard-long icicles hanging from the roofs and the awnings. It was something else. But Buffalo is it did snow. It seemed like it snowed 3 inches every day the day I was there. Not a lot, but it kept snowing. Well, it's been really great to have you guys on. I really would hope you would come back in the future and visit us. And we're going to we're putting up the websites again so everybody can know. And if you want to know what it is, it's www.walkitbikeitct.org, ladies and gentlemen. And you go on that website, and they have a lot of interesting stuff. And the kids will be happy. You'll see these reflective bracelets around, and that means one of the kids is really doing it. He's doing the Safe Routes to School thing. He's getting out there, and they're getting healthier. That's a great thing. I see too many kids today plomping on the couch and watching the handheld devices. Yeah. I did get a smartphone the other day. I had to get one, but I'll tell you, I'm not into it. I almost skimmed it into the ocean the other day because it really aggravated me. I think I was on the phone with you actually when I did it. I can't stand those things. Well, it's great to have you on, and thanks a lot for being here. Bridget and Robert.
Thanks.
I hope to have you on the show again sometime. We could set up and we could talk about this again and spur a little bit more interest.
Great.
Well, thank you very much for being on. And that's it for today, everybody. Stay tuned for more editions of the Bobby O Show here on WPAA. We'll see you.
If my words did glow with the gold of sunshine, and my tunes were played on the harp unstrung, would you hear my voice come through the music